How's everybody feeling this morning? You know, I feel smarter. I had a chance this morning to hear from Kira Marie, who's sporting a 5.0 GPA, and then to sit next to Dr. Sijo, who is an electrical engineer who decided to just play around with urology as a hobby. Just being in their presence makes me feel like I'm smarter. Hopefully that'll maintain itself over time. Well, thank you, Amy, for the very kind introduction, and good morning to everybody. I am elated to be here with you today to join the South Lake Chamber at your meeting. I want to first ask a question, and that question is, how many of you are SECO Energy members? Wow, that's a good showing. Good. Well, let me just say that I am happy to be your CEO, and I'm extremely thankful for the Board of Trustees for giving me this honor to serve as your CEO. I did join SECO officially on December 15th, and I really appreciate the genuine kindness, the genuine welcoming that I've gotten since I've been here. It's great to be a part of this community, and this morning is just one more example of how great this community is. So let me talk about some of the things that are happening with SECO Energy, and Meredith, I'll share with you that we are excited to be a part of this time capsule that's happening in this area. If you look back over the last decade, SECO, as a part of this community, has been on a very fast growth pace, while we're operating our organization fiscally responsibly. And this growth is occurring in all sectors: the residential sector, the commercial sector, as well as the industrial sector. And I heard recently that here in Central Florida, we're experiencing, if not some of the fastest growth around the country. And Florida is definitely on a fast growth path, and here in this area, you're seeing the results of that. You know, with the number of residents and businesses moving to Florida, we expect this expansion that we're seeing and the growing demand for power to be the norm for a while. The overall growth that I mentioned retains our position at SECO as the third largest electric co-op in Florida and the seventh largest nationally, and that's against about 800 other distribution co-ops. SECO Energy, as well as other utilities, continues to deal with the supply chain constraints due to the pandemic aftermath. These constraints caused by periodic shortages of raw material, labor shortages, shipping delays, increased demand for utility products. These are challenging our ability to procure things like transformers, PVC pipe, meter boxes, and any equipment that relies on a microchip. All of this has caused our inventory planning at SECO to go from a very highly efficient method of just-in-time deliveries to a much more costly get it while you can approach, and if you can. This strategy changes really our whole business model to one in which we find ourselves operating around the available materials, and these constraints result in increased costs of inventory, sometimes in some cases triple what we were paying just a couple of years ago. And this price escalation that we're seeing right now is well beyond what we would call normal inflation. During the earlier stages of this dilemma, SECO Energy was able to absorb a lot of those immediate cost increases without negatively impacting the members' rates in hope of this economy to having a quick recovery. However, given the domestic as well as global events causing these trends to continue, such hope is really fading. We must prepare at SECO to meet our business targets and member requests in an environment today that is much more challenging, quite frankly, than any I've seen in my whole career, and particularly just a year ago. And what we're anticipating, the continuation of gradual increases in costs and supply chain interruptions. Ultimately, these factors, along with normal increased costs of providing service, will result in our members paying more for their energy needs, just as we at SECO find ourselves paying more for about everything we buy to run the cooperative. Now, notwithstanding all of this, SECO, as we always do, will strive to minimize such impact on our members. And we'll do everything we can to keep our rates as affordable as possible and make sure that our rates are competitive locally, regionally, as well as nationally. If you go back over the last year, I'm sure you as chamber members have experienced challenges that these unprecedented growth times have had on our city as well as our county. Looking at just 2021, SECO Energy welcomed 2,038 new members who reside right here in Lake County. This total accounts for about 35% of our overall growth at SECO. If you look at the neighboring counties, Sumter and Marion counties, they grew at about 25 and 37% respectively. In 2021, SECO Energy added all total of about 5,770 new meters, which brought our total active meter or service count to 222,188. Our CFO, Gene Kanakowski, just informed me recently that in March, just a couple of months ago, we added 808 new meters. If you look at that number, that is the highest one-month addition that we've seen in about 15 years. So to reliably serve the homes and businesses throughout the region within our service area, our system is home to 48 substations and about 13,000 miles of line. And to support the growth, we see with in the area the increasing demand for energy. Our investment in facilities has topped over $1 billion. This ongoing facilities investment on a monthly basis averages about $6 million per month. Our facilities investments of over $1 billion supports our members' growing demand for reliable energy. And last year, SECO members consumed over 3.68 billion kilowatt hours of electric power. And that is an increase of almost 40 million kilowatt hours in comparison to 2020. Now, I mentioned the worldwide supply chain disruption earlier as I was talking and what effect it's having on SECO's operating model. Now, similarly, the domestic and global events and the resulting economics that I spoke about earlier have also driven up oil prices. They have been on the rise since 2021, and residents and business owners are paying significantly more at the pump. And as a result of all of that, regrettably, the natural gas market is affected just like the oil market. The Energy Information Administration estimates that the wholesale spot price of natural gas in 2022 will reach an 8-year high, and that the market volatility, chamber members, will affect the cost of wholesale power. And that is the power that we buy from our power provider, Seminole Electric Cooperative, who produces the power, and ultimately we will again see this reflect on our electric bills, and that includes me as a SECO member as well. Well, with roughly 70 cents of every dollar that we spend being used to purchase wholesale power, it's clear that this impact is already upon us. As for your members, you are very familiar with what you see in front of you. The members who read the SECO News and review their electric bill each month have seen a line item referred to as the PCA, and that stands for Power Cost Adjustment Factor. What this calculation does is it allows SECO to adjust for the rise and the fall of fuel costs in real time without impacting your formal rates that we charge. Now, this is a common utility practice, and as a not-for-profit utility, what this does is it prevents the over and under collection of dollars from our member consumers. In April, the price of natural gas caused SECO's wholesale bill from Seminole to increase. Accordingly, as you might expect, this resulted in SECO's cost per 1,000 kilowatt hours to increase from $121 to $128.05. Access to low-cost capital is vital with the growth and the major investments that come with the growth during a time of record inflation and rising costs of capital, which challenge our ability to maintain flat rates while we preserve reliable service. We are fortunate as a cooperative to have stable access to capital from organizations such as the U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Utility Services and 3 other very capable private lending entities from which we can obtain our working capital as well as funding for the many projects that we need to keep up with the growth and to maintain our existing facilities. However, we're all aware that the Federal Reserve is anticipating several interest rate hikes this year. This has our attention since we know that SECO and its lenders are not exempt from the cost impact of this policy. Another challenge that SECO has faced is recruiting talented folks to join our team, and additionally retaining those employees once they're hired. As chamber members and professionals, I'm sure that you have faced some of those same challenges. And Kia Marie, as you go on and get your degree, come back and talk to SECO when you get that. We also have to rely on quality and stable contract labor to support us in areas where it is not feasible to hire full-time employees. And this is to carry out the certain functions that we, the SECO employees and contractors, do not do themselves. These are things such as trimming trees near our power lines, monthly meter reading, facilities inspections, and underground and overhead line work. Now, if you think about where we're going, and then as we talk about this time capsule, moving into the future and understanding the challenges that I've mentioned, from supply chain to capital costs, labor costs, the issues around hiring and retaining people, our Board of Trustees has approved steps to embrace technology that will reduce our operating costs and improve service reliability. We're wrapping up 2 pilot projects that have successfully proven the viability of deploying what we call advanced metering infrastructure. And that is also known as AMI. We're planning to put that throughout our system. And this is has a strong financial business case, and the possibilities of moving forward are pretty bright, and we're looking forward to getting that installed into SECO. We're now preparing to decide on a vendor with whom we will work to get that done and to deploy the technology across our system. And this will help us improve our operations in a variety of ways. Let me just share a few of those with you. Currently, we pay contractors to read meters. And this is on more than 220,000 homes and businesses across 7 counties that we serve. Because we do not have AMI already in place, this meter reading process and many of the other functions that we do at SECO are done manually, and they're very costly, especially as the cost of labor continues to rise, and the cost of fuel. And we're seeing this they're soaring to record levels. While our investment in AMI will be significant, we anticipate a substantial return on that investment by eliminating some of those high costs, such as manually dispatching trucks and contract employees to read those meters, taking as much time as it does to restore power when we have service interruptions by reducing the time and labor it takes to detect and to fix those problems. And the new technology will also allow SECO to identify situations when electricity is being stolen by dishonest consumers, and that does happen. These are just 3 of many other cost savings and benefits that the AMI system will create. And you can learn more about AMI benefits in the annual meeting video that is posted on our website. And it's also on Facebook and YouTube. So you can watch those for updates on SECO News as well. Now, how many of you in the room have heard of a term called beneficial electrification? Not many. So this is a new catchphrase. It is a catchphrase in the energy world that refers to the growing recognition that using clean electricity to keep our homes and businesses running is cheaper, greener, and smarter than, I would say, smarter way to meet all of our energy needs. Electric transportation, I know EVs is something many of you are familiar with. Any EV owners in the room? One, two, all right. That's growing. But electric transportation and electric mobility is among the most popular forms of beneficial electrification. The Sunshine State has the second highest number of EVs in the nation, about 60,000 at last count. And California holds first place with over 425,000 EVs on the road. SECO's most recent residential demographic survey showed that 4% of our members already own an EV, and another 6% indicated plans to purchase an EV in the next few years. Now, interest in EVs is growing, as you can tell, but we hear from members who are concerned about charger availability, particularly during hurricane seasons. SECO and the state must prepare for this potential dilemma, and we're closely monitoring federal funding that recently has become available to assist with this issue. Florida's major highways could see 100 new fast chargers thanks to the Department of Energy. Florida's initial share of the $5 billion federal dollars to expand EV chargers nationwide was just over $29 million, and that's the third most nationwide. SECO plans to be a part of this effort to expand our EV charging network for the public. Now, at our last chamber breakfast that I attended, you also heard about the Aspire project involving Lake and Orange County, the Lake and Orange Expressway that will pilot a new a mile of in-motion charging infrastructure for electric vehicles, especially equipped with this type of charging. And this groundbreaking technology could pave the way for the need for fewer charging stations and it could be a more attractive option for EV owners. Now, while this type of new technology complemented by public charging stations are essential to the ultimate transition from gas-driven internal combustion engines to EVs, an overwhelming majority of the EV charging activity happens within the confines and convenience of our homes. For everyday commuters like you and me, switching to electric vehicles is a viable and increasingly popular action that many are already taking to lower their mobility and vehicle maintenance costs. Now, with the price of gas soaring, now wouldn't it be nice to drive past the gas station to your home where you can plug into your own EV charger? Well, there's another one out there that says sold at the bottom. We at SECO are developing an EV charging program that will help offer incentives enabling our members to simply plug in and refuel their electric vehicle in the comfort of their home. And they will do that at a much lower cost than you would pay at the gas station. We will not ask for your arm or your leg. Now this was true even when gas was $3 a gallon, but look at it today at $4.50 per gallon. It really makes owning an EV even more viable and cost effective. The program will be ready to roll out hopefully later this year, so if you are a SECO Energy member, just keep an eye out on our website and also look at our newsletter, the SECO News, and for other updates. Now that we've talked about reliability, we've talked about system improvements, we've talked about technology developments in the works. Did you know that Lake County has the highest number of member-owned solar installations of any of our 7 counties that we serve? SECO has nearly 3,200 arrays, and the number is increasing daily. For SECO members thinking of investing in solar for their home or business, we employ energy services specialists who will consult with you to help you determine if your home or your business location, for that matter, is well suited for solar production. Just send us an email at solar@secoenergy.com or just give us a call. We will provide you a phone or an online assessment and follow up with an on-site study if it's needed. But I want you to, as a buyer in thinking of investing in solar, to beware. There are scams, there are frauds that are rampant in the solar market. Don't become a victim. This is my main message. Do not become a victim. Investing in a solar system does not, and don't let anyone tell you or convince you that it will eliminate your electric bill. If you don't have a battery storage component or a generator, you will still purchase utility supplied power at night, on cloudy days, during hot summer afternoons, during storm season, and on cold winter mornings before sunrise. So now is a good time to just transition and talk about safety for a minute. I want to remind you that the Atlantic hurricane season is just on the horizon. And SECO Energy is storm ready and prepared for the upcoming hurricane season, which formally begins on June 1st, just days away. I have a short video for you today about our Storm Center and our outage reporting and communications platform that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to report outages, check the status of current outages, and report area light issues. Would you run the video?
Storm Center consists of 6 user-friendly platforms to communicate with our members about outages. It is mobile device friendly with interactive maps and a variety of notification options. The interactive map displays current outages, estimated time of restoration, crew status, start time, number of members affected, and outage cause when it's available. Use the weather overlay to see incoming storms. Check the status of an existing outage by clicking on the icon on the map. It's easy to report a new outage or check the status of an existing one. Just use your last name and house number to identify the location and click Submit. It's that easy.
To complement our storm-ready approach to hurricane season, SECO also invests heavily in outage reduction through our vegetation management program. A comprehensive approach to vegetation management, keeping the trees out of the line, greatly reduces the number of tree-related power outages each year. Restoration times from danger trees can be very lengthy, and we must safely remove these trees before the electric restoration work even begins when those storms occur. And another one of our most popular programs is our surge mitigator lease or purchase program. Sergio, the mitigator, takes the bite out of damaging surges and spikes that can damage appliances and electronics in your home. Watch our video about the Surge Mitigator program and how it can save our members from unnecessary financial loss.
Are you protected from electrical surges? SECO Energy members live in the lightning capital of the United States. Surges, or sudden increases in voltage, are frequently caused by lightning and other unpredictable events. They can enter through power lines and lead to costly repairs. Surges happen fast, literally faster than the blink of an eye. But SECO Energy's Surge Mitigator chomps down on surges before they enter your home. The Surge Mitigator is installed at the meter and protects large motor appliances like your refrigerator, air conditioner compressor, washer, dryer, stove, and so much more. Using the Surge Mitigator in conjunction with plugging electronics into point-of-use surge protectors greatly reduces the chances of having your expensive appliances and technology damaged by surge. If damages are incurred, the mitigator's robust warranty can help cover the cost of repair or replacement. Less than $6 a month for most residential installations is a small price to pay for the added peace of mind provided by the Surge Mitigator. Visit secoenergy.com for more information and to enroll.
So let me close by thanking the South Lake Chamber members for this opportunity, this great opportunity to update you on SECO happenings. I want to also thank my team members who have joined us this morning, a couple in the back, some are here at the front and center table. Members of our leadership team and other members of our management team are here this morning, and I appreciate all of them supporting the chamber, being a part of the community, and helping the region thrive to be the region that it really can be as a growing part of Central Florida. I also wanted, they're not here, but let me recognize and thank our nearly 400 colleagues who are back at SECO Energy or out in the field today for all the work that they do every day to serve our members. And many of them of whom are involved in the community, either in chambers or working in some type of community-related function, which we wholly support at SECO Energy. We realize that we have a part to play in making Central Florida the thriving region that it is. I'm grateful for the opportunity to meet so many of you. If we have a few extra minutes, the team and I are actually here to answer any questions you may have, if there are any, and if there's time, Madam Chair, we'll take a few questions.
I think we could probably take two questions. Go ahead, Mr. Jordan.
Earlier in there, you showed a statistic where 2,038 meters. That's for SECO. What percentage of Lake County total meter has?
Yes, for Lake County, I think that number is in the 35%. So you're one of the top three growth counties that we serve. Marion and Sumter are the next two.
We can do one more, Jim.
Can you comment on if we all switch to an EV by, let's say, 2040, your ability to produce that much electricity?
Yes, and that is a managed process. Thanks for that question, because the reason we're getting involved is because the diversity of when that vehicle is charged is quite important to us. Hopefully not all at once at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That could be a problem. But by being involved, we will encourage and engage with our members to charge those vehicles at times when we have more than adequate capacity to handle that charging. It really helps us out. I think we're out of time, but once again, thank you for your attention this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn.